I'd like to start by taking the opportunity to acknowledge and thank some folks who are here at the ceremony with us today, and a few that put some time and effort into this prior to this afternoon. You know, community is important, extremely important in these parts, and I want to acknowledge a couple of our municipal leaders who are in attendance. Mr. Mike Philbrook, Bruce Township Supervisor, and Miss Megan Poznansky, Village of Romeo President. Thank you for this. I want to thank Mr. Brad Parts down here on the end. Middle Stewart Principal. Of course, it's kind of inherent that he hosts us for this event, but there's a lot of people on his team who have done so much to support the preparation of today's event. I want to thank Chris Storm and our operations department and a Barton Mallow construction management team for staying on top of some of our contractors who were finishing up things in anticipation for today. The rain this week made my bleachers installers just take some aggressive, motivating feedback to be done for today. But we're grateful for their help in making sure we were ready. I want to thank our speakers who are listed in your program today, and we look forward to their comments shortly. Thank you lastly to the Brynaert family. I think first and foremost for your patience, support, and passion to see this acknowledgement become a reality for your dad today. I think there's a few virtual meetings and a few phone conversations over the past several months where I've had to use the adage, trust the process. So thank you to the Brynaert family. Our official naming ceremony and public celebration today is a culmination of a process that has been in the making for almost 2 years now for me. However, I could not make this happen without the support of our Board of Education. I would like to acknowledge our board members who are here in attendance today. Mrs. Eichhorst, our board president. Trustees, Mr. Boyer, Mrs. Bowman, Mrs. Chahak, and our board secretary, Mrs. Rice. Thank you. Last May, the board passed Resolution 57 that allowed the superintendent the opportunity to pursue the possibility of naming this new facility. If I'm honest, the homework had been done, and in reality, the background story just needed to be told in a few subcommittee meetings and put through a process to make sure that it was official and aligned with board policy. Additionally, if the board was supported, I had a strong desire to keep this a surprise from Greg. Now, I love surprises. However, that is outdistanced by Greg's dislike for public spotlight and attention. He is as humble of a person you will ever meet, and if you're here today, I know you know that. Fast forward to this past August 25th, when the board amended that original Resolution 57 and formally approved officially naming this new facility Brynaert Field. Thank you again to our board for all of your support. You know, we had to pull a little scheme together. First of all, get Greg there. I resolved myself several months earlier that there is absolutely no way I could pull off getting Greg to this field and all of you just conveniently being here without him thinking something's up. And a few of his children said you could not guarantee he would just turn around and get in his car and head out. But I asked Greg to come to that meeting in support of our upcoming bond proposal and his long-term vision for the one campus plan for Romeo High School athletic facilities. And that is true. He's had a long-term vision for that. Taylor and Christy were in collusion with me on the plan all along and kept the family informed. I also asked a few of Greg's longtime colleagues and friends to be there to help keep the surprise intact. It was a special moment when his family came out to surprise him after the board voted on the resolution. And all I could think was, man, he is really mad at me right now. And now I'd like to ask Mr. Cody Smith Romeo High School Director of Athletics and Student Activities, to come and share a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. To those of you that don't know me, I'm Cody Smith, Director of Athletics for Romeo Community Schools, and had the great honor and challenge of following a man who's had a huge impact on our district. I'd like to thank the Board of Ed as well, and Dr. Robinson for making today's events happen. We are honored today to dedicate the new Romeo Middle School field in the name of a man who gave over 20 years of service and leadership to Romeo Community Schools, our longtime athletic director, Greg Brynaert. Greg's vision, commitment, and passion helped shape the opportunities our student athletes still enjoy. His dedication to excellence and his care for our community will continue to inspire future Bulldogs to take the field here. Greg's mantra of Be Romeo is a reminder to all of our student athletes and staff to be first class in everything that we do here at Romeo. His mission still goes strong in our building and in our athletic department. We stand here today at the new Brynaert Field, and I think that it's only fitting that the sign says Brynaert Field, which represents the family as a whole. As an athletic director, I can speak to how taxing this job can be on one's family, so I know how much sacrifice that Patty, Christine, Sarah, Jamie, and Taylor have all given to this position over the years, and how much time they have given to our district as well. I feel that this is a tremendous honor for the entire family, so to that, congratulations to all of you as well. When I first started at Romeo 8 years ago, Greg made sure to help me and guide me in every way possible. He introduced me to people in the community and was always there to bounce ideas off to ensure there was a smooth transition between the two of us. For that, I'll always be grateful. Thank you, Greg. Greg's leadership and core values are still reflected in Romeo and will continue on. So in closing, congratulations to Greg. Again, Patty, Christine, Sarah, Jamie, and Taylor on this tremendous honor. And remember, go Bulldogs and be Romeo.
So, as said, I'm Clara Russell. I'm the person who had to fill the big footprint that Greg Brynaert made at Parks and Recreation before he moved out to the school. I first met Greg when I graduated in 1991. I was an intern at Parks and Recreation. From the start, he took me under his wing. He became my mentor and my friend. And his experience was immeasurable. Not just through what he shared in his mind, but honestly by me watching what he did. One thing I can say for certain is that Greg was really supposed to be in my life. First at Parks and Rec, and then he tried to get away from me when he moved to the Romeo at schools as the athletic director, but we were in constant communication because we always had a gym or something was wrong with what have you. When I think about it, Greg really couldn't get away from me. I can throw myself a barnacle to him as it gets further. I heard he was retiring, and of course I was happy for him, but I was sad that the alarm went off on Friday because he's a person that I always went to when I needed something. But then as he taught me to troubleshoot, I thought, when I heard that he was going to be on the commission for Parks and Recreation. So once again, stuck. Happily, I can state that retired Greg did that for many years. He got me through COVID. He helped us through a political storm, which I am ever thankful for. As you know, Greg's a team player. He's hardworking, dedicated, creative. He was always working. He told me how he would take the kids from park to park, and secretly, while they were playing, he was playing with them at the playground. He'd be checking the equipment, taking mental notes, and of course, taking out trash, which to this day, I can't walk by something on the ground without calling it a Greg, picking it up. I even remember going to a Romeo basketball game and seeing Greg with a broom out there doing a quick sweep of the court. It never stopped. I thank you for who you are, what you gave me, and you are so deserving of this. Thank you.
So, public speaking and speaking at events like this it just kind of comes with the job. I personally don't like it. And I generally try to get out of it whenever I can, except for to have the opportunity to honor Greg. I'm just very, very blessed and helpful to be here today. I only got to work with Greg for about 2 years before he retired. And in that very short period of time, he made such an impact being on my life, not just, as a principal, but also a member of the community, and as a man and as a father, because there's no greater role model or mentor for what it means to serve the community than Greg. Okay, I mean, this guy spent his entire life putting everybody else's needs ahead of his own, and honoring and doing that for everybody else. He did it for his coaches, for his players, for our students, the teachers, the principals, his wife, his children, and his grandchildren. Which is why today is so great, is because we get the opportunity to finally honor the man that has spent his entire life honoring everybody else. So, one thing I want to share. When I found out about this from Dr. Robinson in the board meeting, I did call a few people that may not know. One of them was Jason Couch. I think we know Jason. So I let Jason know what was going on. Obviously, he couldn't make it. Saturdays are kind of busy for him now. So, but he texted me after the board meeting and asked, how was it? How Greg, what was his reaction? I said, well, was uncomfortable, was embarrassed, and I could tell he didn't want to be there. Just like right now. I said it was absolutely perfect, and what you would expect from one of the most humble men you'll ever meet in your life.
All right. Again, my name is Taylor Brynaert. Today, I get the privilege of sitting here up talking on behalf of myself, my three sisters, Sarah, and Steve. It's an incredible honor to stand here today as we dedicate this field to my dad. Everything my dad has ever done has meant about team. He has always believed it takes a village, whether that was running Parks and Rec, leading as an rec director, or simply being the guy. The hours he poured in the community were countless. Growing up, I just thought it was normal to work from 7 to 8 or 9 p.m., volunteering and showing up at extra events. And that's just what dads did. Knowing what I know now, I realized how much of that, and if you ever had the privilege of listening to one of his speeches or pep talks, you quickly realize he wasn't just looking for wins and losses. He was also looking for people who lived out what he called the Romeo. As Dr. Robertson told me, many hands make light work, and my dad was the one who guided those hands, finding those helpers and making sure every kid felt that they belonged. I also know this honor isn't just for my dad. It's for all those who had influence on him as a person. That list is long, and many of those people are no longer with us. But one special person who still deserves a significant amount of honor is my mom, Pat. My mom has been his biggest supporter through all of it, holding things together at home, cheering him on, and lending her support in time with countless events and being the quiet strength behind everything he accomplished. I think she still holds the record for making the most bats to popcorn at rodeo events. What makes this even more special is knowing that my girls, the crowd today, that one day they get to plant public school. That's legacy. And that's what today is all about. Utilizing this tangible field to refine us to live out Beat Romeo every single day. Dad, when I think about legacy, there's 3 things I hope to accomplish. 1, to be a great father, to be a great husband, and if I'm lucky, to be half the man you are.
Location, 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 we hear in different chapters of our life. And as much as that new high school and that athletic facility and everything that's evolving there over really as much as a decade is special, when I began to think and see the vision of naming this field after Greg, I can't think of how many times he stood out here or close to here and looked that way and saw that water tower. And just over the hill was another significant chapter of his life at Parks and Rec. So everything happens for a reason. And I don't believe it's coincidence that it's this place that gets to bear his name. So I think it's only fitting that we take a few minutes now and hear from our honoree. Let's congratulate and welcome the man of the hour to the podium, Mr. Brynaert.
As I said earlier, that I feel that I'm a very fortunate guy. I had 2 greatest jobs in the world as the Parks and Recreation Director for 14 years and the Athletic Director and the Student Activities Director at the high school for 20 years. Just amazing to have the opportunity to be a part of this community, to be a part of all the students, and do all the wonderful things that we were able to achieve and do to help teach our kids that giving them themselves is more important than anything else. And so that's why we did all the fundraisers and all the activities. And so I think it's very important, and it creates good human beings. And that's our biggest goal, is to create good human beings that they can go out and serve the world. So we're really excited, really proud of that. And I'm glad to be accepted and to help work with a great group of people to make all these things happen.